Hello.
You see me?
I can. I can see you and I can hear you.
Good. Well, we're already way ahead of the game.
How are you doing?
I'm still trying to process Barbie. I
Okay. So, all right. So last week you were here. We
yeah.
did a number of things. We went to the Hard Rock. We saw the Calder exhibit, and we did watch the Barbie movie. Okay. Let's start there. I do think.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to say it's very rare for me to ever want to see a film twice. Um, but I think this might be
Huh.
an exception
Huh.
because I think I think it's a layer cake. I'm not sure I managed to process
Yes. No, for sure.
all the layers.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think, and again, when I heard whatever 3 years ago they're making a Barbie movie. Okay, they're making a Barbie movie with Margot Robbie. Okay, because she's already done some interesting things. They're making a Barbie movie and Greta Gerwig is directing. I said, okay, this has got to be interesting because there's no way she's. I mean, she hit a very subversive movie in this sort of pastel surface comedy, slapstick with like running into the waves, but also, yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's layers. It's funny because when I was, I'm clicking it and it says, you can rent it for whatever, $5.99, or you can buy it for $20. And you're saying, are you sure you want to buy it? And I'm saying, oh, well, if it's $6 or watch it 3 times and you've gotten your money's worth, I've already watched it 2 more times this week. So yeah, I mean, I definitely knew this is something. And again, we can talk about owning things in your collection because that still continues to be an interesting, wild story. But
yeah, I think that I know there's a great deal of information, speculation, showbiz, etc., gossip around the movie.
mm-hmm,
I don't think I have the energy or the desire to go there. I'd
mm-hmm,
like to stick with the movie
mm-hmm.
without without really finding out the personal lives of this particular Barbie or that actress, or because I know that's huge. That's part of the interest
Mm-hmm.
of the younger generation,
Mm-hmm.
which is to deconstruct it along the basis of what this actor or actress did before or said in an interview, etc. So I mean, I think those are branches of the tree that I'm not really interested. I'm interested in going back to see. I don't know. There are details that are, I'm sure, interesting,
Mm-hmm.
both in terms of the action and the message, and even just the visuals. Uh,
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. But do you think that's generational? Do you think that I mean, is it more of a is this just more of the same kind of separate the art from the artist conversation or
well, in a way, I think if, for instance, it's a question of energy. If this was if movies about the Godfather, right? The Godfather movies, I would know much more about
mm-hmm,
Al Pacino, Marlon Brando. In other
mm-hmm,
words,
mm-hmm,
as actors slash people slash characters,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
Which kind of blends into your enjoyment, or not understanding, but your
Yes.
enjoyment of the
Yes.
film. You know, whereas here I realize there's no way I'm going to really drum up enough interest in what a 20 something knows about these different actors and actresses,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, they're not chosen because of their backgrounds or what they've said on TV, or are they? Maybe.
No, no, I don't think in this case. Well, no. I let me.
I mean, does Ryan Gosling represent when he's Ken?
Yes.
Is he bringing other?
I don't. No. Okay, I thought the moment I heard it, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Just because she had already been cast, and then just because he's perfect. The main thing with him, and the one thing I will just say is, I don't think most people will. Yeah, and I appreciate you indulging me and letting you sort of like, this is my interest area, and like spew all the minutia of trivia that I don't think most people are interested in any age. I don't think this is a younger person's movie. I don't know exactly.
Oh, I do. I disagree with you.
You think it's a younger person's movie?
Well, no,
Oh,
I think that younger people
it is. It's tied in
who
with
are
who they
interested
watch
in
and what they. Okay,
entertainment and TikTok.
oh, well, okay. The flip side of that, and this is, and I'll just use a random Riverdale as an example. The actors on Riverdale revealed something that I had never thought about before, that they're actually contractually obligated to post X number, 3 to 5 social media posts a day. And so when you see your favorite celebrity saying, just had at my favorite cafe, and you're like, this feels like pretty vapid content, they may not even be choosing to post that. They're just literally obligated to post something X number of times. But for that to be, I mean, to me, showing up, and especially when you're thinking about, these are minors, people literally under the age of 18. California has very strict laws. Showing up, hot lights on the set, don't even get to go to normal school, 9 to 5. That feels like a job enough. So to then say you now have to post to social media in a world where we're now actually questioning whether or how much or what kind of oversight minors should have with social media, it's all just very interesting to me. But this idea that they're being forced to, but that persona is tied in with their expectation at the box office.
Didn't Shirley Temple have to give interviews to Hedda Hopper?
Oh, no, okay. No, you're absolutely okay, but is interviews the same thing? Because here's my thinking of it. Yes, they are also, then that's always been true. So that's not new. They've always, including minors, child stars, been contractually obligated to do some kind of promotion for their thing, but that's usually a set or fixed period of time. We're going to make the movie, you go off and do whatever you're going to do. The movie is going to come out, and we will have a press junket. You will sit in a hotel room. The media will come to you for 2 days, and then you're done. Or you'll also go Comic-Con. I mean, it may be bullet pointed and spelled out, but it's a fixed period of time. You're in perpetuity. You're on a TV show for years at a time, and you are obligated to post on your social media every single day. Feels, I don't know why, to me that feels very different, but maybe it's you're saying it's the same as Shirley Temple. And
I don't know, because I wasn't thinking of TV series and this being, I mean, because, well, it cuts both ways, because if a actor is doing that,
mm-hmm.
which is linked to a TV series,
Mm-hmm.
are they reinforcing their identification with the character, which is going to make their future life problematic, either easy or not? I don't know.
Sure. No, sure.
So it's, in other words, you become, do they, I mean, are they in character when they're doing their?
No, but you're right. I mean, but what they say offline, how funny or not funny or charming, or what their political views
They
are.
have to be funny and charming, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
They're very good actors. They're good at comedy.
Right.
But
if they're not funny, no. If you don't also have but no, I think also increasingly, and this where it gets interesting, especially in today, what your political views are, who you align with, and I mean, how much of that should matter. And I think someone like, I think it's in layers. I think there's someone who's a loudmouth like Mel Gibson. I think there's someone like Mira Sorvino, who I know is Christian. She does Christian-y movies. Her and her dad, Paul Sorvino, I still love them. They're great actors. They keep it to themselves. They're not out here hating on anyone or using their faith as
no, that's fine. I mean, that's having a private life. I mean, that
right, and keeping it private. But I guess that's the thing. Once you make it public, and then what about fans who demand you take a stance on one subject or another, or when you've chosen to be silent. And for instance, I mean, Taylor Swift's a great example again, because she chose to be silent for a very long time. She didn't say who she voted for or whatever. And then finally, only because white nationalists were literally picking out parts of her lyrics and saying she's with us, that she had to like come out and say, no, no. But again, she came from the country world. She still lives in Nashville. She's dating an athlete. She's still, her sphere is still very much not a, it's not a liberal left. She did a I'm pro gay song just to be like, but I mean, they could come at her for, well, some of them
So
have.
she's a middle of the road, middle class. I mean, she's a superstar, but she in a sense is having an average life.
She's as much as anyone navigated, I'm not going to be political,
Yeah.
until she absolutely was pushed in a corner. And even then, she just kind of kept it. I mean, which is, I mean, some people, well, many people say that kind of silence is complicity with X, Y, or Z. And I get that perspective as well.
Yeah, but you can't force everybody who makes a living in the entertainment business to at the same time take political or religious or whatever positions. Okay.
Yeah,
Or maybe maybe you do. Maybe this is our culture. Maybe once you step outside your front door, you're required.
But, well, I mean, I don't think people get canceled. First of all, I literally, give me an example of someone who really legitimately, Kevin Spacey is still getting honors at Oxford and whatnot. I want to talk about Oxford. Their word of the year is Riz.
Yeah, I saw that. I've never heard that, but I mean, I know what does it mean, right? What is it for?
I know. I have a whole list. We can do this. It's charisma. It's short for charisma.
It's charisma. I thought it was risible.
I have to think about it, but that's not what I think of. And it's not my favorite. This is where I draw the line. Not draw the line. I am absolutely growth mindset. I am all in favor of words and language changing. I definitely know what to me still feels fresh and new that is so fixed in my vocabulary, like and awesome are literally dating me to 40, 50 years ago, like 23 skidoo. I mean, would someone in there?
Well, no, wait, 23 skidoo is you cannot say that without being referential.
Mm-hmm.
Referential, not reverent, not reverent.
No, yeah, yes.
when I left the gallery yesterday, we have an intern called Mia, who's probably, I don't know, she's probably 20, she might be 20, 21, 22, 23.
Yeah.
And she's got a good sense of humor. And
Yeah.
I said, I'm splitting now. And I said, do people still say that? And she says, oh yeah, that's fine. I said, so they still say cool? And she said, yeah. I said, but you don't say groovy. And she thought a while and she said, well, in some context. I said, but it would be parenthetical. In other words, it
would be referencing you. You can still say it. Yes.
Yeah, it would be it would be knowingly, rather than slangily.
Yes.
I mean, it would be slangily knowingly.
Yes.
Right. You'd know that you were using an old expression.
Okay, but how's this? My boss. No, again, this is going to be me in 10 years, because she's in her 60s. She uses groovy, but it's both. She knows no one else uses groovy, but she is like, I've always used it. I still use it. And she's like, that's groovy.
That's fine.
And so but it's both, because she will nod to her own. She says it with a wink, wink sometimes too, and then sometimes it's just, this is the language I've always used. What other word am I going to use? You know.
What I've been fascinated by watching a lot of French TV.
Yes.
That characters of all ages say cool. Cool.
Yes.
They say just cool. They say it very quickly, like cool. Oh, cool. And it doesn't. It doesn't have any ring to it other than okay, or good. right?
Right.
So, but adopted that from English.
Well, no, there's so much. I mean, there was a period, it's not as common, but there was a period in the early 2000s where rappers were using bird a lot to mean females. I mean, there's a lot of crossovers, and there's a lot of.
Oh, really? Though that's very old. That's 60s.
And no, I know that's what I'm saying.
I would have thought that would be cancelable, right?
Well, no, I mean
Bird,
it's.
chick, bird, chick.
I know. No, I hear it. I hear it now. I'm like, is there a sexist tone to that? Is there? No, I don't know. Well,
They don't refer to their companions as my old lady, right?
Right. Oh, and then also cars as whips, which also goes back very, very far.
What?
Whip, like a whip, like WHIP, car is a whip, and it's also very, yeah.
You mean a motor?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
British. No, that's American. But but again though, slang gets recycled. People find an old thing, they think it's cool, they get enough people on board, and it's cool again. I mean, it's.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's Barbie.
Yep.
So this is what I just read. Mike Johnson, the
Yes.
guy,
Yeah.
well, he is a lawyer. As a lawyer, he represents a Noah's Ark in wherever he's from, Oklahoma.
Yes.
It's a giant Noah's Ark with stuffed animals.
Oh, the museum. Oh, is he part of
The
that?
Bible. It's a
Yeah, no, I know a lot about it. No, what about
You
it? He
do.
represents them in what?
Well, no, he's yeah. I mean, he's been instrumental in them getting huge tax breaks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They charge people $60, $60
Yeah.
to see a wooden boat full of stuffed animals.
But the interesting thing to me, and I think I've been following this since I lived in Las Vegas, is this was ridiculed for years, and the first thing was a disaster, and no. This whole thing and how this became, I mean, this is how. No, but I bet if you ask the people who ran this, it literally is. Well, first of all, did you also hear that Mike Johnson thinks he's Moses, or thinks he's literally like hearing visions of God telling him to lead the people, that this speakership.
Well, these people believe that, God started us 5,000 years ago.
No, Jesus riding dinosaurs. I mean, but this is the point but now that they've weaseled their way out of all these tax breaks and whatnot, and anyone can do this. I am an ordained minister. The only reason I pay taxes is because I think I should as a citizen in this world, but literally, legally, no one has to. You get a 30-second thing online, and you start a ministry. It's very, very easy. But no, the fact that, you just keep saying it. So this Noah's Ark guy, the people who, they believe that it's ordained from God. They probably really, I mean, when you think about evangelicals, they really believe it because they wish magicked it into being. And now it is like they found shills to pay $60, and it worked. But people
the guy that owns it is an Australian.
Oh, is that true? Oh,
his description in this article, he sounded very much like a W.C. Fields character of a con man. I mean,
I don't know who owns it now, but I don't know. I don't think it was ever owned by anyone who. No, but the history of it is no. But again, it took a long time for it to be what it is now, because first they had land problems. They had the first structure didn't work. It got ridiculed constantly. Mainstream journalists would go and take photos of the exhibits where they would show things like evolution doesn't exist and history is only 5,000 years. And these are the exhibits. This is what people are bringing.
I know this is what they say. Yeah. And they have very convoluted ways of explaining why, if there were only 2 dogs on this ark, how there could be so many different kinds of dogs now. But I mean, they have they can explain everything away somehow. I mean, they have their own science.
Well, no, okay, yeah. But no, but you have to. Well, it's whatever they believe or don't believe, whether if this is a con, but they've tapped into homeschoolers across the country who don't ever get well, they're not going to take their kids to science museums that are in their local towns, so they will trek all the way across the country to bring I mean, it's the mecca of tinfoil hats. It's the so they built it. If they build it, they will come, and I know it makes me so mad that this is now a real thing, because for years and years it was so ridiculed. It was like, this will never get off the ground.
No, it's totally off the ground. It's making millions.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. No, I know. No,
they're paying no taxes, and they're getting subsidized by the whatever the local state government is.
Yep.
Because it's bringing people in to stay at the hotels and stuff.
Yep.
Right? I guess that's also they're flat. I mean, they flat earthers too. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, well, here's what's one thing that I think of a lot about the right is well, on the left we talk about intersectionality. That's a phrase they ridicule and think is not even, they ridicule, but they are better at it than we are. They are better at, well, I don't hate so-and-so, but I hate so-and-so, and if you hate so-and-so, then we will. I mean, they're better at forming those kinds of coalitions. So, I mean, I mean, look at how,
But we have ads on TV for, I don't know, some cable company, which make fun of people who think the earth is flat.
right.
I mean, in other words,
yes.
Well, they're not showing all over the country, right? I mean, are they in selected markets?
No, but I can't describe how much they overlap with everyone else. I mean, do you understand? I mean, Elon Musk, the richest person on earth, who owns the social media that many people, for whatever reason, I stopped using it well over a year ago, but that's just me. I'm not judging anyone else, but I really explain to me how you can still use this promote, because I don't know, but he is still promoting Pizzagate. They're still Pizzagate. This was Hillary Clinton 2015.
I know what Pizzagate was. I thought that was that's ancient history.
No, what I thought that was when someone showed up in person with a gun and actually caused harm, we will all immediately disavow this and never talk about it again. They are still talking about, but actually the owner of Comet Ping Pong, not even just Pizzagate as a general, this store, which was debunked in 2015, doesn't even have a basement, but he's dating a lobbyist. It's Washington, D.C. I don't know who the owner of a pizza store is dating, but if it's a left-wing lobbyist, I'm not surprised, because it's Washington, D.C., and he's gay, so he's probably not dating a right-wing lobbyist. I mean, I don't know what, but they're still going after him. They're still going after him 8 years later, after it's long since been debunked publicly. And Elon Musk, the richest person in the world, on one of the most popular social medias, is promoting these theories, and this is the world we live in, and people can be appalled, just like those journalists were appalled by the Noah's Ark, but it is allowed to continue and expand and metastasize to our society. I don't know how to describe it any other way. I'm exhausted.
That's a good way of describing it, but the people they do live in an information in an echo chamber, right? I mean, they have a way of disallowing anything that contradicts them. Right?
No, but again, how many people don't believe Pizzagate, don't believe, but can roll their eyes at something like that because it's adjacent to something they do believe, and they're still willing to be in the same sphere because they hate something else more, because something else,
Well, let's hope they don't all vote.
I mean, I hope everyone votes, and I say this every time. I hope everyone votes, and let's find out, because if everyone votes, we win. Absolutely. I I'm never, and I know you were, it wasn't a joke, but I want to be, I hope everyone votes. I hope every right winger turns out, because if they, I hope they don't do, votership is so low. Like, yeah, I don't think they're going to beat us at the polls, which is why they do gerrymandering and packing and cracking and all the things they do, and then it gets declared unconstitutional. They don't even care because they're hoping, well, at least just 3 more election cycles. If we can just 3 more election cycles, then we can kind of cement this majority in this area and blah blah blah, and people will move and blah blah blah. But they know what they're doing, but it's not at the. They know if everyone votes, we win. And I'm not a Democrat, but I am not.
Well,
them.
I agree with you 100%. I did hear something alarming though, which was that when Jimmy Carter was running for president, 85% of the population lived in swing states.
Sure.
Now, 11% of the population live in swing states, which basically means that 11% of the population are going to make a decision about the next election.
Did the article explain, or I'm not calling you out because
no, I had it on radio. I heard it on the.
Okay, but how that happened? Was that natural migration? Was that the?
It's
swing states haven't.
Yeah, it has to do with what you were talking about, the gerrymandering of districts, and both parties consolidating power.
Yeah.
In individual states, and like people having a much less divided society, right?
Right.
If 85% of the population are living in swing states, it means that 85% of the population is living somewhat near other people who vote differently than they do, right?
Right. I'm. Right.
No.
I get
healthy,
that. I know. I absolutely get that distinction. I'm still processing. How did that all happen? Did it all was, and what I'm hearing also is, again, it's both parties, and again, both only because we have a duopoly. I'm not in favor of anyone voting any third party. I'm not, but. I'm, the arc of justice is long and bends towards history. I think arc of
history
is long and bends towards justice. Yes. I am thinking that we need more parties and less laws that really favor only these two parties. Who was it? Oh, I mean, again, but no, Asa Hutchinson. And again, I'm not a fan of the Republicans, but you have to pay attention to what they're doing and what's going on. I didn't watch any of the debate, but we can talk a little bit about that if you have any interest at all, the Republican one. I do actually want to talk a little bit about that. But Asa Hutchinson basically said that the Ronna Daniels and the McDaniels and the RNC, the Republican National Committee, have nationalized the primary. That by making these very onerous to make it to the stage. They've shut out any. So even within the parties, not even we have a duopoly, but even within the parties, who can run is it's all very well. I mean, again, he's pointing out the Republican Party is corrupt yet again and again. It's like, thank you for airing your dirty laundry for all of us to see, but it's also like, I mean, it's not surprising, but I think the Democratic Party does the same things to favor. I mean, there's no primary challenger.
The Democratic Party has been a machine. I mean, a machine. I mean, they handpick people. I mean, this goes into local politics, and back to Richard Daley being the kingmaker in Chicago when Hubert Humphrey was running and McCarthy was running against him, but Daley didn't like McCarthy, so he got the police to go out. I mean,
right. No, I'm right. I think. No, I won't say it. No, I feel it. Yeah, no, I won't say it about Chicago and. But no, did any thoughts or did anything you heard about the Republican National? What was yeah?
Oh, it
Do you
just, I
care?
mean,
Does it
look, it's seven and now it's eight, now it's four.
right?
They're not talking about Trump except for Christie, who I think is, I don't know what he's running for. He certainly doesn't want to, he won't be president, he won't be vice president. I don't know what he wants to do, to have a talk show or something. I mean, he's the only one who'll talk about Donald Trump, but
No, he won't. Right, no. Okay. Well, all right. And this is just me, and I know, and I'm admitting this is a little bit dangerous. I actually donated to Christie's campaign this week.
all right.
Here's what he said. Okay, so here's what he said in the. Here's the main thing he said. So here's the main thing he said on the stage that I agree with, and I didn't watch it, but I
No, I didn't watch it either.
no, but I got the clips. I'm the only serious candidate. 100% agreed. The fact that he's the only one who's talking about Trump, the fact that even he lobbed multiple offers to other people, like DeSantis would only say, well, Trump's too old, we need a younger candidate. So again, he's positioning himself as Trump light. Vivek and Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley,
They're Trumpettes. They're
no,
just,
they're both. No, they're both. And the way they just, I mean, I hate to, no, this is dangerously close because, no. I think that no, their energy is like moonlighting. They're like, go get a room. Like I don't know, like it has nothing to do with like they're just like, they're the way they're yeah no, none of them are serious candidates. But here's what Chris Christie said on the stage. So Megyn Kelly announced in advance, basically dog whistling, if you hate trans people, it's going to get fun tonight. And so specifically in referencing, and again, how does Megyn Kelly get to, well, because it's a Republican. So, but referencing Ron DeSantis and all his bills and things was targeting how Nikki Haley maybe wasn't the most transphobic candidate, basically just tried to play all the candidates against each other, but really started with Chris Christie and said, but you're actually not transphobic at all. And she basically said it, are you even appropriate for the Republican Party nomination? And here's what Chris Christie had to say, and I'm paraphrasing, these are all paraphrasing. He started with smaller government, not big government, which is, again, the pillar of, if you're talking about actual running as a Republican, smaller government, not bigger government. I know my kid. I trust parents to know their kids. I haven't heard Joe Biden say this. I haven't heard Kamala Harris say this. I trust parents to know their kids. And this is in regard to gender affirming care for minors. Because, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Megyn Kelly and other candidates are talking about hacking off genitals. Literally, these are the types of terminology they're using, like surgery is even really on the table for minors, except that doesn't happen. I'm not going to get into the details, but they're getting into the details on the Republican stage, but only to sensationalize in the most lurid way. And he's saying, I trust parents to know their kids. Here's the thing that really touched me, and he didn't say it, but he said, I love my kids, not some governor. Like he's really tying it back to the Republican pillar of conservative of less,
which is non-governmental interference.
But what the subtext is what he said on the Republican national stage, which is so amazing to me, is parents who have trans kids love their kids. I trust them, and I believe they love their kids. And he didn't say those words, but that's what.
That was his message.
That was his message, and it was. I sent him a little bit of money, and I'm going to get some merchandise for. Yeah, I don't know what Christmas merchandise is, but
it'll be valuable, believe me.
But in 2015, the only other Republican candidate I can ever say I've sent money to, though, if you look at my entire voting record in Washington, where your voting record is public. In local election, down ticket elections, I have voted for, especially like if you're a state auditor or whatever. If I look at two people and I look at your qualifications and I look at I'm not sure whether I voted for Republicans or not, but I may have. But the only other candidate I can say I've ever donate money to was Jeb Bush in 2015 because he was a primary challenger of Donald Trump. This was, remember, this is Jeb Bush. Please clap. But he, no, that's what he. Do you remember he?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah. And because out of all the Bushes, he seems the most reasonable and the most sort of self-effacing and the most like. So yeah, I actually have a Jeb Bush tank top as well because
Well, between Jeb Bush and Chris Christie, I think you're picking the.
No, but I hated Chris Christie. I remember him on the beach and while everyone else. No,
Chris
I mean,
Christie's the guy who said, "Let's give a little trouble to whatever the." He closed the.
no. I'm not saying no.
He's
I'm
a
not saying he's a
mobster. He's a
good guy.
mobster.
No. Here's what I am saying.
But mobsters love their kids.
Here's what I'm saying. People can grow. No, here's what I'm saying because Chris Christie in 2023 doesn't sound at all like Chris Christie, who was actually wasn't he on Trump's cabinet too? He had some position too at some point.
He loved him. He was embracing him.
Yeah, no. So I mean, people and. I always, with a grain of salt, you don't get to have embraced him at the time and now be critical, but he's been consistently critical and still trying to carve out a space in a very difficult space and still trying to do something where
I think he's young enough. If there is such a thing as a post-Trump Republican Party,
or no, again, like you're saying, he's going to go to TV or third parties, like let's start this, some kind of, I don't know, people who are willing to listen to people who may disagree with them on something. Now, again, this is sounding more like, I don't know.
No, it works in a lot of European countries because then you have a coalition. You have
to build that coalition, and you have
unless
but let's talk about that European. I know we only have a few minutes, but that whole process of you got elected, but then you immediately have to start doing a lot of meetings. I mean, this sounds a lot like Speaker in the U.S., but this happens when someone gets elected to the head of their government in other countries. And is that work or not? Or do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know?
The head, yeah, the head of the prime minister is whoever is the head of the party,
right?
That gets the majority votes. But in order, they may have had to make a deal with other parties,
right,
that have different agendas, not necessarily the opposite agendas, but that they like the Green Party. You might, in other words, if you're a moderate party, you either need the Green Party and then you become more moderate,
right,
or you go to a right-wing party and it pulls you to the right, because you have to have ministers in your government from the party that you form a coalition with.
And I think all of this mechanisms are really important because, we align with so-and-so, but we don't align with so-and-so. You have to then start to, your values become more, because it becomes more obvious, if you just say, we're all on the left and we're all on the right, those are such broad,
coalition governments have to make compromises and it prevents them from being extreme.
Yeah. No, so
it prevents them from
All right. Anything else? And we have a minute. Anything else in the world? Anything else?
I don't know. I can't go near Israel at the moment. I mean,
I know. No. Yeah.
The presidents. The university presidents. I think they were kind of. They were, I think they were set up in a way. I mean, they didn't do very well, but I still think they were.
Stefanik versus, I agree. There's a story there, but I don't know if it's the story being told yet. But I also think none of those universities are, I think, okay. Oh my gosh, we have less than a minute. Since the 50s, the right have gone after universities, but I think some of the criticism is getting valid, but it's not. It's still the same kind of baiting and identity.
It's an anti-intellectual or whatever.
Yeah. No, exactly. I love you. What's your week look like?
Okay.
All right.
Love you.
I love you.